I'd like to talk about dreaming. Dreaming not for yourself, but for and about others, and maybe simultaneously for yourself as well. In the world of dream interpretation, say you get up, you have a dream, and then you dig into that dream to tell you something about your life. And that's a very good thing to do, but sometimes the dreams are not about you, or not maybe primarily about you. It kind of has to be about you in some way because you're the one who had the dream. This is where things get very multidimensional and hard to talk about. But to get specific about it, it's a known phenomena in shamanistic world, or just among people who are into this sort of thing, that it's normal to have dreams about that are actually about or for other people. For example, this just happened to me yesterday, 2 days ago. I had a dream about the Tower of Babel, and the simultaneously imposed upon that dream, or that image of the Tower of Babel mapped onto an area of my body, which is my left kidney. And I woke up, thought about it, wrote it down, wondered about it. Then that day, I went to a doctor's appointment for a close family member. And not to get specific, but a key part of that appointment was about kidneys and kidney function and a certain medication that was taken that the kidneys metabolize, that encourages the kidneys to metabolize sugar, and some downstream effects of using that. And I mean, I didn't know that kidneys were going to figure that day. So, and I had a dream about it the night before, so of course I pay attention. You could say the Tower of Babel is about miscommunication. Sometimes the body miscommunicates, etc. And it's just an example of dreams pointing to something that is about someone else. Down in the Amazon, there's, say, cohorts of students, right? And the head shaman, even though I kind of dislike that word, that moniker, just because of all the connotations it has of there's so much nonsense and BS around it. But the head guy, I was told when I first got there so many years ago that he dreams about his students. And from his dreams, he provides medicines. And this is true. Though sometimes it would get phoned in. I would notice that as well. But I was very struck by this. It's like we're all dreaming together. Some people notice and some people don't. It's really all about it's all a matter of noticing. So, this thing called healing. Healing is another word I have trouble with. What is healing? Maybe it's an unwinding. But this thing called healing lies in the environment and all its people and animals and plants. So, the power to heal is also about the power of the environment. This is something I was reading in one of Arnold Mindell's books, that the medicine people in a certain place, I'm not sure where, somewhere in Africa, but they would give pennies to the children as they walk by. And it's a matter of, and they say that their power to heal lies with the children. And this makes sense. This spirit of generosity, this kind of movement and flow. Without flow, without movement, there is no healing. So it's not an individual thing, it's collective. When there's an attitude taken of individuality, there's an energy of mine, of grabbing. It's like a hand grabbing toward one's own energetic body. And that is antithetical to the spirit of healing, which is unwinding and opening and flowing. In the West, this might be called body armor. This this armoring of the energetic body. This, I mean, to keep things out, to also, but also to keep keep in, hold in what it perceives that it owns. So, I guess if there was any advice that would come out of this talk, it would be that dreams, your dreams and visions, even if you mostly think about yourself, like most people do, aren't necessarily about yourself. That a dream is coming through you because of causes and conditions and whatever. And there are reasons why people become very individualistic. I'm pretty individualistic myself, and I have my reasons. It's very basic. You come to a certain point in your development, and perhaps you see the hypocrisy of the world around you. You see that, in fact, that society sometimes just seems pretty fucked, and it has been for quite some time. In fact, forever. Patriarchy, for one, doesn't work for anybody. And yet, here we are. I mean, sometimes I wonder why patriarchy is still a thing. But then if I look around me, if I look at the world, the people who are most driven seem to be the ones with the biggest hole in the center of themselves, who feel like they have something to prove. I think that's the foundation of patriarchy, of the social witchcraft of that. And something else I read in Arthur Mendel's, I keep saying Arthur, Arnold Mendel's book is society is full of spells and this kind of witchcraft. And it really feels that way, that people are under a spell of this, of people who want to hoard power, money, position for themselves. And they transmit ideas to make other people more amenable to that. Look around you. Peter Thiel is funding Catholic prayer apps, for example. Certain people want to plug in to these old patriarchal structures and put themselves on top of it. Witchcraft. But there's something to be said about will, and these people have an enormous amount of will. Not that it's directed to anything good, but that has the power to shape this reality. That's just a fact. Most people want to live in balance. Most people just want to live moderately happy lives. They don't have that. They don't have that desire like some people do. And that shapes the landscape. So we're all in the stream together. And some people, through force of their will, shape the dream more than others, and others have to respond to it. That doesn't change the fact that we're all in it together. It's a running joke between me and a friend I had that you need to that cults are good, cults are okay, but you need to join several of them so you don't get caught up in one mind stream or one cage of belief. As long as you join several cults, then you could get the benefits of those cults and without the negatives. And people say that people who join cults are weak and there's something wrong with them, but that's not been my experience in these situations I've been in, these spiritual groups that I've been in and around. These are some of the most accomplished people I've ever met in my life, by far. But they have high desires and standards for life. They want a lot out of life. And the fact is, I think one reason why cult content is so popular is because of recognition. We're all kind of brought up in the same dynamics. It's just the cult of whatever situation you were born into, the cult of the family, the cult of community, society. These dynamics are always in play. People vying for power within the cult leaders having outsized and often undue influence, etc., etc. You've heard the term choose your heart. You also, there's something to be said about consciously and conscientiously choosing your cults. Choosing the social situations you're in that allow you, that shape you, that shape you in ways that you can't control, that are out of your control. This is particularly important nowadays. This is part of the Pluto and Aquarius thing. Aquarius, an archetype of fracturing, of community, but also fracturing. And you see it on the internet. One hand does not talk to another anymore. All these niches and groups seem worlds apart. There's no agreed upon consensus reality anymore. Like those boundaries just get more and more delineated. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is about boundaries, about boundary. And it could be the boundary of Capricorn, which is traditional patriarchy. But in Aquarius, there's a widening of that and a proliferation and a fracturing to a point where there's no, even if someone were anti patriarchal, they wouldn't know what part of there's all these little factions that you can fall into, and each can be feel like it's diametrically opposed to one that's right next to it. So we don't live in a tribal society where there's generally one society. So where does this power come from in this kind of world, this modern world? Who do you give pennies to? Where does the power of healing, of vision, come from? It's not as straightforward in 2026. In a city in the US. I mean, the other thing about the age of Aquarius is, or Aquarian energy, another term that's used to describe it is the future is here. It's just not evenly distributed yet.